So what happens when you start playing that single drag tap fast enough, it starts to feel like the diddles or the doubles are 32nd notes inside of a 16th note rhythm. What I mean by that is it'll feel like 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So if we start with the diddle, you have the rhythm, keeping that same sticking pattern as a single drag tap. You have 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. If you start with the diddle on the and, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1. So there's two more variations within that 3-note pattern once you start feeling it like 16th notes. So here are those two new 16th note variations as drum fills. I started with the diddle, playing the diddle on the and. So the 16th note variation I just showed you shows that we can think about the single drag tap in terms of diddles and singles. So we can apply that to triplet rhythms as well. So the single drag tap and triplets opened up and slowed down. 3 ta ta, 4 ta ta. The same sticking, just the rhythm stretched out just a little bit, opening up that diddle and letting that, actually the grace notes of the drag become a rhythm, become a diddle. Notice how when it gets fast, it feels like that old single drag tap, but if we slow it down within the rhythm, so then we're left with two more variations with that triplet rhythm, starting with the diddle on the first note of the triplet, 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta, 3 ta ta, 4 ta ta. And the last note of the triplet. 1 ta ta, 2 ta ta, 3 ta ta, 4 ta ta. I used it in the demo song and the triplet feel. A lot of times I was playing different patterns between the hi-hat and the ride cymbal. That was the first pattern, starting with the diddle. I use it mostly starting with the diddle on the second note. And as fills around the drum set. So all those orchestrations I showed you earlier still apply in those same rhythms. Double bass drum. I've said before, I'm not a speed player on the double bass drum. I don't go crazy with it. That's not my style. But what I do like to do is play little embellishments with my double bass drum pedal. And one of my favorite things to do is to substitute the two grace notes in a drag with right, left on the feet. So regular drag, either left, left, right, or right, right, left, now becomes using that single drag tap rhythm, then we get a sound like this. So notice your hands are now your hands are now free to play any pattern that you want, since you don't have to stick to that single drag tap sticking anymore. And that also means you can play unisons with your hands, which means at the same time. So using that 16th note interpretation, that would sound like this. You can also explore those 16th note and triplet variations I showed you earlier. First variation is playing that 3-note pattern with the diddle on beat 1. Sound like this. Diddle on E. And time would sound like. Faster. I like ending that one on the end of 4. And the last 16th note variation is playing that diddle on and. That's how it goes. Yep, that was right. And the triplet variation, that first one was the diddle on the first triplet, becomes second triplet. And the last triplet. So that's the single drag tap. Hopefully I explained it well enough that you understand it. Make sure you use those stickings, those hand motions I showed earlier. That'll really help your speed. Might want to spend some time on a practice pad. You know, I do it in front of the TV, getting my hand speed up, and then once I get on the kit, I can move around pretty easily. And those variations, check those out. I hope you come up with your own variations. I hope you use this as a launching point to get your own ideas out there. And I recommend that if you do work these things out, get it down to where you really know that lick. And when you want to pull that out, you'll feel comfortable on the gig. And what I like about this is that you can have that hand pattern familiar, so I'll call that a lick, but the different ways you orchestrate it or play it around the drums will sound different, but you can keep that time in your head. So you're going to feel comfortable in the live gig pulling that out, and you know you're going to stay in time, and you know you're going to land on beat 1. So please check out my website, bradfrankdrums.com. I have PDF downloadable transcriptions of all this material, and please leave some comments. I'd like to hear from you.